Hey, it's Grant here. So I've been told by multiple people that if I had a podcast or some form of where I get a TV series or videos where I gave my opinion, people would listen and watch and they'd actually enjoy that. So I'm giving it a try. Here's episode 1. A close friend of mine thought a great name would be Grant's Rants, and that's what we're going to be naming it. But for this episode, this is my crib. I'm also going to only be doing these in one take. So, like, for example, I said also twice. So it's just going to kind of be unfiltered, just me, Grantness. So it's not going to be, oh, I messed up, and then, oh, well, that's just how it is. Kind of like I'm live, but I'm not. But I don't really know what I'm doing here. So for the first episode, I'm just going to look up a would you rather, and we're just going to go from there. So it's going to move on. Okay, I have not read these. So, number 1, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? I would want to see 10 minutes into the future because that would be just so much more helpful. Like, imagine if you're going to bet on horses, you could see which horse was going to win to make your bet. I mean, that would still be a close-ish window, but because 10 minutes, there's usually sometimes more than 10 minutes before the horse race happens, but still, that would help. You could do it for gambling, like blackjack. Also, it really needs to specify because you can only see 10 minutes or up to 10 minutes? So does that mean I could also see like 1 minute into the future, or does it have to be 10 minutes? It doesn't specify that because that changes things. If I can only see 10 minutes in the future and I can't see 2 minutes in the future, then you have to like think 10 minutes in the future and then think, and you constantly think in your head, okay, now that's 8 minutes away, and now that's 2 minutes away, But definitely 150 years. I'll be gone. Who cares? But that doesn't matter. Okay, number 2. Would you rather have telekinesis or telepathy? Honestly, telekinesis. I don't want to know what people are thinking. I really don't. That is not something. I've heard people talk, and there's sometimes I'm just like, I don't understand you, and I don't think I ever will, and I don't think hearing their thoughts will help, because I think hearing their thoughts will just be a bunch of mumbo jumbo that it's like opening up a computer for someone who doesn't know computers. It's like, I don't know where these wires go. I think it'd be the same way. So telekinesis would be very cool. Also, like, not even for selfish gain, you could like help people with it, Would you rather, number 3, would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? Ooh. Interesting. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I don't like either that much. Wonder Woman. If there's a chance that I get to be around Batman, that is worth it. I think. But we'll do that. Also, Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel's so much more like energy type based. I'd be like just scared to be around her. I'm also and whenever I say Wonder Woman, I'm talking about like the good Wonder Woman, like in the 1984 movie. Not like the one in the Justice League Unlimited who like hates all men. Like when there was a disease, like in that show, there was a disease that was going to wipe out all men, and the Justice League was trying to stop it, and Wonder Woman was like, "So, women are awful," or sorry, men are awful. So, number 4, would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear? I think it's a public service to the world for me to pick dance to every single song you ever hear, because I am not a good singer. I mean, I can hit a pitch and I can hear intervals just fine, but the timbre, just plain awful. That would not be good. People would not appreciate that. So I think as a public service, I need to do that. Also, other people should have that attitude. Also, for the record, just pointing that out there. If you can't sing, stop singing. Like if you want to like practice, obviously, if you want to get good at something, you have to practice it. But if, for example, I play the saxophone, I'm not just going to go start playing the saxophone when I'm awful in front of people. I'm going to practice it in private first before I then go in front of people. People need to have that attitude when it comes to singing, because, oh my gosh, they'll just cats down a blackboard. All right, number 5. Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year? Okay, I'm not answering this question because it's not giving enough details. How much is the lottery? Am I winning $20,000, 10,000, 50 million, 1 billion? It's not answering that. There's not enough. And then also when it says true love, what does that mean? I mean like no conflict and like the romantic rom-com true love, or is it the true love of what it actually is, where it's like you have to love them? What's the word I'm getting at? Like they're awful, they're horrible, but because it's true love, like you have to love them no matter what. And that's kind of like a curse, if that makes sense. So I'm not answering this question. There's not enough to go on. Okay, number 6. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade? Oof. You know what? I'd rather be in jail for 5 years because you know what? We only have a limited time on this earth, and I can still do stuff in that 5 years. Like think about it. Prisoners get jacked. I could just spend 5 years and like bulk the whole time and just get jacked and then come out of prison and then cut and look great. And I could learn things and I could still, like I just spend all my time reading. Like it'd be great. Like I have all these books that I want to get to that I just haven't been able to get to lately. And you know, I reread the same books. You know, mainly like the Bible and, you know, like I've got the Quran here. Oh, actually a lot of religious texts. But yeah, definitely. That's 5 years where you could just, and free room and board. Come on now. 10 years in a coma, you'd be older, you'd be atrophied. Also, Hollywood, just quick side note, Hollywood has ruined the coma. If I were in a coma for 10 years, I'm going to wake up zero muscle tissue. Well, not zero, but almost zero muscle tissue. I'm not going to be able to walk. I'm not going to be, all my joints are going to be super, super stiff. That's literally going to be horrible. Like everyone's like, oh, he was in a coma for 20 years, wakes up, can move. That's not how it works. When I broke my finger once, my pinky, and I had to have a cast where I was all up in my wrist. So I couldn't move my wrist. And just 24, and all I got to take it off was when I showered. I would shower, take it off, and I'm telling you, just from 24 hours of non-movement, I take it off and could barely move my wrist. Yeah, by towards the end of the shower, I had worked it enough where I had full range of motion, wasn't stiff anymore. But that's just 24 hours. Imagine 10 years. You're not getting that back. And if you do, it's going to be through intense physical therapy. It's never going to be the same. Number 7. Here we go. Would you rather have another 10 years with your partner or a one-night stand with your celebrity crush? One-night stands are never a good thing. Everyone regrets them. You can spread diseases. You could have an accident, which a life is still a life, but it's just not a good idea. So if I had a partner, I'd spend 10 years with them, or 10 more years with them. Be chronically underdressed or overdressed. Both of those are awful. But honestly, I prefer being too cold over too hot, so I'd probably pick underdressed. Yeah, probably underdressed. And then also, like, imagine if you always had to be overdressed for, like, swimming. Ugh, it'd be awful. But then again, underdressed for winter would be awful. But still, I'd pick underdressed because I prefer to be too cold than too hot. Being too hot is horrible. All right, number 9. Would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts, or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history? I would rather have everyone have access to my internet history. One, because I don't really look up that bad of stuff. Like, everyone would read my internet history and be like, this guy is so boring. Like, it's like Cold War, the texts, you know, I'm trying to read on how we know Luke wrote the book of Acts, you know, things like that. They're not really going to find much. However, my thoughts, I'll definitely think bad things. I have a filter. I don't say them, but yeah, that would not be good for people and I think that's for everyone. You know, that's not something you don't want to hear people's thoughts. That's just, there's a reason that you have an inner voice. And then number 10, would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power? I don't trust myself with unlimited power. I don't. because no one is beyond corruption. So I would give myself universal respect, and imagine how good the world would be if there was a person that every single one respected. You could get so much done. It would be like a monarchy, except without the corruption of power. So that's what I would do. At least I think that would work. But yeah, that's definitely what I would do. All right, that's 10. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm ever going to do another one of these, but we'll see how this one does. And that is Grant's Rants. Thank you.